Hey raiders, it's crazy, but in this raid, I spawned right underneath a supply call station. So in this video, let's talk about the search, supply drops, trial, and as this video is playing along, I'm gonna talk through this trial and specifically focus on how to get at least 4,000 points so you can get your maximum weekly rewards. Now you can see we've called the first supply drop. And we already have 1,600 points before even searching the supply drop. We're gonna come back to this just in a few seconds, but first, let me see where we're going next. The next one is gonna be on the very top of the Grandioso apartments. That's gonna be right here in front of us. I'll put a little mini map throughout this video to help you navigate Buried City. And as you can see here, I'm passing by them and somebody else just called in that supply drop. So there's no point going there. We're going to the next closest one, which is on the top of that building here. I'll mark it on the map. And I've brought some ziplines specifically for gaps like that to make it quicker. I hear a raider flare. Looks like the person that got the Grandioso apartment supply drop just went down. Less competition for us, I guess. Now, as I'm approaching that, I can see that that antenna didn't spawn. So that supply drop is just not there. It's not there, so we're gonna have to go to the next one. And the next closest potential spawn is gonna be the library, right over here on the map. Let's avoid this snitch. Not to attract any attention at all. And this is the library building. So the supply call station could be on top of this roof. It would be on this corner, so I already see that it's not here. But let's just jump in and check it out. Yeah, it would be right here. It's not this time. Normally there's about 8 potential spawns for the supply call stations on this map, and one of them can be triggered twice. Sometimes it's like a bit of a bug. Some people claim that you can just step back just before you call in the supply drop and trigger it again. I could not replicate it this raid, but sometimes one of the stations can be triggered twice. But let's ignore that for now, and we're gonna make our way north to the gas station, which is another potential supply call antenna location. Now, while we're going there, I'm gonna address the fact that by using one supply call station, we already got 1.6k points without even searching a supply drop. Well, in the week that I'm making this video, this trial is a little bit bugged. Previously, it had to search the supply drops that land on the ground, and that way, even if you search the supply drop and get the points, another raider could find the same supply drop, search it, and get the points as well. So the points were kind of shared between any raider in the round. This week, you only get points for calling in the supply drop. You don't have to search it. And I think it's a little bit of a bug because the trial is still called search supply call stations. So this is probably going to be fixed, and if you're watching it in the middle of April, that's how it works right now, but if you're watching it later, this could have been fixed, so watch out for that. Now, another location for supply drop stations is the top of that parking garage, right on that pink circular thing. And it didn't spawn this round either, so for now, we haven't really called in that many supply drops, but I see my next one. It's right there on the top of the research building. You're just grabbing a zip line, making our way over. And then we have to cross another gap from this building over to the research building roof. So I'm going to use a snap hook for that. Jump over quickly. Now let's approach that. We're requesting that supply drop, and again this week we don't have to wait for the supply drop to land. We just called it in and we're at 2 stars now. That's our second supply drop. So that means we're at 3,200 scores, 1,600 per each supply call. And we just need one more for the easy 4K points. Don't shoot.
Oh,
Hello.
almost landed on top of me.
Alright, so this side of the map is pretty much done. Let's go into the old town now. Now, as we're making our way there, let me talk about what you need to bring for this trial. Really, I don't want to invest a lot into this trial because it has a max score, right? If only 5 or 6 supply drops spawn in the whole round, you're not going to be able to get a huge score from this trial. So why invest a lot of materials? I just grab a snap hook to traverse the rooftops easily, a few zip lines. On this trial I had 5 with me, and some weapon to deal with arc as we run along, and of course some adrenaline shots. So that's basically the loadout. Now here we are at the Piazza Arbusto above the pharmacy, and we've called that supply drop, and this is us with the 3 stars done. Basically with 1.6k per supply call right now, we are now at 4.8k. So we're above 4,000 points. That's gonna give us the maximum rewards for the week. Let's just make our way to the next supply drop. Here we are right above the Piazza Rosa pharmacy.
Shredder, over there.
Hello. Hello. We've called this supply drop, and this is technically the one that sometimes can be called in twice. I wasn't able to trigger it this week. They might have fixed that bug. So that's going to be our 4th supply drop, bringing us to 6.4k. Now, if that raider at the beginning didn't trigger the Grandioso apartment supply drop, that would be our 5th supply drop this round. And sometimes more supply drop antennas can spawn. I think I've had 8 spawn before in a Cold Snap event in Buried City. Now Cold Snap is not in rotation right now, so the options you have are really a night raid, a hurricane, maybe an electromagnetic storm on other maps. But I really like doing it on Buried City because it's such a small map. This whole run took me less than 15 minutes and we've completed over 4,000 points. Basically getting all the weekly rewards for this trial. If you're pushing for the absolute max score, you might want to try it on other maps, but I do really recommend Buried City and just trying to get a good raid where you're gonna have 6, 7, or 8 supply drops spawn, and then you're gonna have a pretty high score on that. I hope this video has been useful. I've showed you the different spots that the supply call antennas can spawn, and I've overlaid a little map in this video to help you navigate that easier if you're maybe newer to the game or the first time you're doing the supply call trial. And good luck getting your points this week. Crazytrick out.